We had some breaking news this morning. You know the whole Build Back Better thing? Oh, you'd forgotten about it? Understandably so. There's been like no updates, nor any reason to believe it would pass. Well, it's even worse because they're just done with it for now. Axios has a scoop. Biden and, oh, what do you know? Joe Manchin are deadlocked on a couple of different programs. And so according to Jesse Rodriguez of MSNBC, says Senate is expected to shelve the Build Back Better bill. And this is my favorite part. So that's the bad news, right? But then they give you the good news. The good news is moving forward aggressively now on voting rights. Shut up. No, you're not. No, you're not. Well, maybe you are. Maybe NBC News is, but they're not. I trust you on the first part. They're done with Build Back Better. They're not getting it done before Christmas. Who thought they were going to? But JR, the idea that, okay, now that they've slipped this weight off their shoulders, they can sprint towards voting rights and get this thing done. What do you think?
Well, the only way we can believe something like that is to have heard that they were looking to get somewhere on voting rights, which they have given no energy to at all. Now, of course, there's been progressives and some Democrats that have been pushing for this, but they haven't been getting no press. They haven't been getting much of a fight. Joe Manchin hasn't even been giving them an ear. He's been giving them you guys kidding me? Do Republicans want it? So when we now are on a sprint to go towards voting rights because we've abandoned something else that was promised, there's not much faith that you really want to, especially again, since we haven't gotten that commitment from Joe Manchin, who apparently runs the Democratic Party and is the sitting president of the United States. This is just how these things work. You just can't have a constant narrative of how you've ignored an issue and then assume people are gonna now buy it when you say, yes, now we're streamlined. We cut off some of our own policies to go for another policy that we haven't told you anything about. It's appealing to what they're hoping to appeal to is people who aren't paying close attention to this whole process and who have been the quote good guys and bad guys throughout it, and just hope people hear one next thing go, oh yeah, they got that Build Back Better done, didn't they? Because no, for us who follow politics very closely, there's plenty of people who go, oh yeah, I keep hearing about this Build Back Better. It must have already been happening. The same way conservatives think somehow a critical race theory is getting taught in schools, or somehow think that these schools are overpowering and implementing mask wearing and putting all of these books in front of your kids' faces. These things aren't really happening to such this drastic degree, but so many people believe it. So conversely, Democrats think they can convince people that they're doing something when they're not doing anything.
Yeah, and so what are they gonna do now? Okay, they want to pass the voting rights bill. Which bill? Honestly, I don't even care at this point because the next question is the same for all of them. So is it gonna pass Senate? Well, no, the Republicans won't vote for literally anything. It could literally be a blank bill. They wouldn't vote for it because that would be a blank win for Joe Biden. So you'd have to get rid of the filibuster. Are they gonna do that? No, they're not gonna do that. And I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that someone can put together a mashup of me saying that over and over and looking like a big old dummy, a big dumb dolphin. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. So what do you mean you're gonna aggressively go towards it? You're not gonna do anything aggressively. What does aggressive mean? That you're gonna have a press conference and it's gonna be the tag team of both Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer talking about it? Is that gonna be aggressive? You're not gonna do anything. And by the way, on the Build Back Better, Manchin wants the child tax credit cut. He said he wants to zero it out. That's good. That's good. People are really worried about, the rising cost of like consumer goods and inflation and everything. So what you should do is take away some of the additional money that's been helping them weather these increased prices. You should do that leading into the election year. That's a great idea. No, Manchin just doesn't want the program to be there. He doesn't care that it would benefit Americans at large, that it would like overwhelmingly benefit people in West Virginia. We just did a story earlier this week about the fact that something like more than a quarter of seniors in West Virginia don't have a single one of their own teeth anymore. And this is the dude like single-handedly stopping dental care from being in the bill. They're not representatives. This isn't a democracy. Abandon all hope. Well, happy holidays, everyone. I hate everything these days. Okay, so anyway, that's your little update on infrastructure. Oh, and a bonus on voting rights. Your update is ain't nothing gonna happen, so that's fun.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.